What we've got here is failure to communicate. Some men you just can't reach.
We don't make mistakes here. We just have happy accidents.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape! The trouble with Scotland is that it's full of Scots.
When things look bad, and it looks like you're not gonna make it, then you gotta get mean. I mean plumb mad dog mean. Because if you lose your head and you give up, then you neither live nor win. That's just the way it is.
Your assignment tonight is strategic. You can't give the enemy a break. Send them to hell.
No bar, no pinball machines, no bowling alleys, just pool. Nothing else.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, good evening. Welcome back to VP4 TV. My volume should be coming through okay now. It should be fixed, so you can give me a confirmation of that. Welcome to Lard, welcome to Slim. We are here tonight for another match in the 2023 VP4 Virtual 9-Ball World Championships, and it's a round 4 match, as you can see on screen. We've got Bankster, who represents himself with the flag of Kuwait. Now, again, I don't know whether he's an expat that's moved over there and working there, or whether he's genuinely from Kuwait, but that's the flag he has. Welcome to Michael. We also have Semipro from England, and it's a race to 19. And we've also got, and we'll just have a little look at this so I can remember how to work it. We'll have a look at the upcoming matches. That's not it. Hang on a minute. Just bear with me if I remember what one it is. Oh, what the hell button is it again? Not that one either. Right, let me try this one.
Welcome to VP4 TV, a Tactical Genius production. Here is a list of upcoming matches in the 2023 Virtual 9-Ball World Championships. I try to stream what I think will be the best matches to watch and offer a good standard of play. Please subscribe to my YouTube and Twitch channels so you can join in the stream chat.
Now, just to confirm that first match on the schedule there has come and gone. Rosine didn't show up. Snake Eyes was in the lobby, so Snake Eyes gets advanced. Good afternoon to Dwight. You can tell me if my volume is back to normal, Dwight. I should have fixed it. We also then have this match tonight, the round 4 match. We've got another few good matches coming up as well. The one new one that's appeared there, well, there's a couple that have appeared over the last couple of days. We've got the match between LS3 and Nick. That's been up for a few days. It seems good now. That's what I thought it would be. I got it tweaked correctly. The LS3 and Nick on Wednesday, which of course remember is my day off. That's at 7 PM, I think. I can barely read that on the second monitor. I'll be there for that one, so it's a race to 13. And the extra match that's appeared on the schedule is the one between MC Clarkey and Interchange X. And that is also Wednesday, but it's at some strange time of 10:29 PM my time. And I will be there for that, I promise you. Good evening to Cobra. We've then got the match that's been arranged in the last day or two between Larry and Bedhead. and that is clashing with Friday Night 9-ball. I'll be there for that one, and of course that might be a round 4 match as well. It's certainly round 3 or round 4. I'm hedging my bets and saying it's a round 4 match. Then of course we have Cobra against Spectre Dawn on the Saturday night at 7:30. I'm going to have to miss Ant and Deck's Saturday night takeaway for that. And finally we have One Pocket Slim on the Sunday at 12 noon against Brain Fill Out. Now that match I won't be able to get because I'll be working anyway to around about 2 p.m. I think. So that covers that. Now what else have I got to say? There's something else I was going to say. I can't remember. Oh, aye, Steve is going to be here, so he'll be dropping in. This match now, I don't know how many you're watching, and in fact, I don't know how many's actually watching at the moment, because I can't see the bottom of my little chat thing I've got on the screen because of the black background and all the other text. But if you were around and watched, you didn't have to be around. You could always watch matches you've missed on the YouTube channel. Remember, but Bankster got here by beating Hazard. And if you remember, that match was sort of neck and neck up until about 13 racks all. And suddenly Bankster realised he had a match to win. And from there on in, I don't think he made a mistake. Or if he did, there were very few and far between. And he was really solid, really focused. And he beat Hazard, I'm sure, about 19 racks to 14. So he had a good rack run to finish the match, and I mean he was a well-deserved winner. Now, what I'm saying is that and I don't even know if Bankster's arrived in the lobby yet. That's the other worry. What I'm saying though is that if Bankster's going to be mixing it with Semipro, he has to be playing a good standard and as good as he played at the end of that match against Hazard, because he won't win if he doesn't. Simple as that. But I don't think Semipro will be taking him lightly. That's unlikely to happen. And I don't see that Bankster has arrived in the lobby. I'm looking at the amount of people that have joined the lobby, and I don't see anything there either. So that's the only concern I've got. I'm trying to scroll up and down and see. No, he's definitely not here, and if he's at the top of the list, I don't see him there either. So that's the main concern, is that Bankster shows up. Now, it'd be unusual if he didn't. He's usually pretty reliable in this sort of situation. We'll get it onto the main screen. Welcome everybody. Anybody I've missed? Yeah, the list of matches will be scrolling up there as well. So that is all we're waiting on, is Bankster showing up, and then provided that happens, we should be good to go. He's certainly not showed yet. And I'll have a quick tab out. I don't think Steve will be there yet. He usually leaves it to the last minute, but I'll have a quick look and see. No sign of him yet. So, well, if it's going to go like it should do on paper, then I would say 19. Their Bankster has arrived, so that's good. I would say it'd be about 19, 14 to Semipro. But Bankster will have to do well to get 14. He'll have to play solid. But if he stays in it, you know the old rule, if he stays in it till quite late on, then anything can happen. Oh, welcome to Stub. So we have a match. Bankster is in the house, and we will be good to go in about 3 or 4 minutes time. I'll have another quick tab out. Now the screen will go black maybe. And the reason it goes black is because I'm on desktop mode. Oh, that's the question I've got to ask Steve when he arrives. That's a good. That's just reminded me of the question I have to ask Steve, just to annoy him as well. It goes black because I'm not in full screen mode. I'm in desktop mode so that I can have this chat on my main monitor, which is very good. Right, you must be coming in by about now.
Welcome to VP4 TV. You're watching a Tactical Genius production. Please welcome your commentary team for this match, 9ball.com and Super Admin aka Steve Chapman, CEO and President of Celeris, Inc. Good luck to both players and have a good one.
Good afternoon to Steve. Well, he's there, but I'm not getting a response yet. He'll wake up soon enough. He's definitely in the chat, or in the commentary booth, I should say. Right, so we'll get
voice thing going, but I'm not hearing you. What's going on here?
Yeah, I had problems. Here, Steve's now got a problem with.
All right, well, hang on a sec.
And Steve is very quiet to me. There's more weird things happening now with Discord. Hello. Now Steve's messing about with his settings.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you, Steve. Right, hang on a minute, guys. The room's still not up. We've got about 30 seconds to a minute to go. Just bear with us. I'm going to shut down Discord. And I'll hopefully shut it down. Hang on. I'm just going to task manager. Right, Discord is definitely shut down. So I'm going to start it back up and see if that makes any difference to Steve.
Can you hear me now?
In fact, it's not shut down.
Well, I can't hear you.
The logo's not there. Well, my audio in Discord, although it was low the other night there until I fixed my volume today, it was working fine. There's nothing different there at all. Why can't I shut the damn thing down? Where is it? Hello? Well, everything looks good next to Steve's name.
Finally I can hear you.
Right. I had my Discord was working last night, so there's nothing wrong with Discord for me, but
I killed it and restarted it. I think it updated.
That's probably what it was. Right, hang on a minute. Let's get into this room. Right, we've got Bankster on the right and Semipro on the left. So, oh, hang on a minute. Now I've lost the picture.
Yeah, I don't see it on the stream.
Hang on. Oh, what the hell's happened here? That's brilliant. All sorts of weird things start happening with this thing. Right. I've lost everything.
Oh, right off the bat, it's a dry break for Semipro.
Now my XSplit won't work at all. And that's got me totally baffled. Right, you're just going to have to bear with us.
That was an interesting safety attempt. You managed to get safe, but that was kind of a crazy play there.
Oh dear.
No,
there we are. There we are. We're back. I don't know what the hell's going on. I hope everybody's still there.
Pull the chimpanzee out.
I think everybody's there.
Didn't take long for that.
Apologies, guys.
That was a chimpanzee safety there.
Just testing it works. Right, there we are. I think we're all set to go now. Is everybody hearing Steve loud and clear? Yeah, that's what it was. I don't know who typed that, but you're right enough. Steve was doing an update. I had an update the other day, so that's Steve just getting it. So anyway, down to business here. Now, Steve,
Bankster got himself on the wrong side of this ball.
Yeah, you didn't see Bankster's match with his ad in the last round, and
I did.
You did?
I did see that. Yeah.
Did you see it? Ah.
Yeah.
Well, remember it was about 13-all, and then Bankster, I don't think, missed a ball really between there and getting to the finishing line. He won 19-14. He had a very solid finish, and he has to be doing something along those lines tonight.
Yeah, he's going to have to play the whole match like that because, I mean, Semipro will give him some chances, but he's going to run out a lot. And here's a mistake right off the bat there. He might be able to still cut this in, but...
Yeah, he needed a bit of spin on that to alter the line of that 5-ball.
Yeah, he needed a lot of English. I might have hit that with a lot of English and really soft and, tried to keep it down on the end of the table. Well, that's no good.
Well, that's a reverse bank every day of the week.
Yeah, I mean, this is a 95%er if you know how to bank.
Yeah, he's not missing this. I mean, this will be a real surprise.
I'm a little surprised at how he shot it. He didn't put English on it. I mean, most people put a little English on that just to counteract the throw, but he hit it good.
Well,
yeah, every time Bankster does one of those kind of safeties, he's probably going to lose.
Yeah.
And that's you gotta if you're gonna play safe, you've got to do better than that.
Well, let's hope for the sake of having a match here that he settles down.
Yeah, I think he does a lot of things really well, and he does play some good safeties. I think he's just he's got some sophistication to his game, but it's just he doesn't have a very complete game. You're going to see him make a lot of mistakes. We saw, a mistake with the cue ball followed by a bad safety, and that's not going to work against Semipro. Semipro's not going to make that many mistakes.
Well, we've got the 3-ball locked up, and Semipro's break was dry.
Yep, he's 0 for 2 on breaks now.
No, I don't think he can get into the 3-ball trying to cut this one. Yeah.
No, that was he wasn't going to get there. I mean, you'd be better off there. You make the 1, you hit the 2 and bring the cue ball down to the end rail, and then you play safe on the 3. You pin him on the 6-ball.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is, I see players do this all the time. I used to do this all the time, where you see a shot, you're like, I'm going to try to break this out. And then, you can't get there, but you convince yourself, you think maybe you can. Then you hit the shot, and instead of looking at the table and going, well, the right play here is to, come back off the 2 to the end rail and play safe on the 3. And I can guarantee a semi-pro knew in the back of his mind he wasn't going to be able to break that 3 ball out.
Yeah, but guess where Bankster's going to be in a second or two?
Yeah, this is not the angle you want, though. You want it to be closer to the 3 so you could really roll up on the 6. This is a little touchy. Now he's playing the 9 ball.
Ah, well, that's excellent.
That was a very, very good play there.
Wrong button. Put him up. Wrong button again. I'm getting used to these buttons again.
Well, I missed the match with Bill and Chimpy. I saw Bill won.
Well, the story of that match is fairly simple, Steve. And Chimpy will tell you himself. Chimpy made 4 errors that I marked as significant errors. The 4 main errors he missed, and they were all exactly the same in terms of what was available and what the outcome could have been and what the outcome was. Chimpy had a pot. Now, these were all wide open tables. There was nothing locked up. There was no clusters, nothing in every of the rack that Chimpy failed. And he had 4 pots that he had. If he had got it, and they were maybe a wee bit touchy, a bit of a cut angle. But they have to go in at this level. But he missed 4 pots where, when he missed them, Bill just came in and cleared the table. And in the second one that he missed during the match, that's where Bill had a run of 3 racks from it. So Chimpy had some hurt at the end of that match because those 4 errors that he made all cost him dearly, and the final one cost him the match.
Yep.
That's how severe it is. Because Bill wasn't giving anything away.
That's what, Bill did his job. Chimpy makes errors, Bill's got to make them pay. Well, Semipro just, I don't know if he's trying to give Bankster a chance or what. First, he hooks himself, which, he shouldn't be doing.
Oh, dear.
And then he tries to jump a ball where he's 1/8 of an inch away from it, which wasn't wise.
Well, Bankster's already thrown in these errors early on, which is not a good sign. Let's just say again, hope he settles down.
Yeah, well, we saw him do this with Hazard, and he did get rolling finally. I mean, the thing about Bankster is if he stops missing balls, he's got a chance in the match, but I think he's still going to make some strategy mistakes.
Welcome to Bill. Well, there's another goal for Bankster in a second or two. Welcome to Bill and Rob.
Semi-Pro's already made, let's see. I've already counted 3 mistakes.
It's almost Cobra proportions from Cobra's last match. The amount of errors.
He's made 3 mistakes in 3 games, and he may get away with it with Bankster, but this is not the way he needs to be playing. I mean, a really good match in a race to 19 would be 3 or 4 mistakes for the whole match. I expect most of these guys at his level to make, 5 to 7 mistakes if they play well. But he's halfway to his mistake quota already.
Welcome to Mark. Bankster off the mark.
Yeah,
Bankster
hi Mark.
Is dry. And that 1 ball is a cut. Now, is he going to try and dink between the 4 and 8? You've got to watch how he does this, though.
He can go between the 4 and the 8. I think he's got to put a little bit of stun on it, or he may hit the 8, or put speed on it, one or the other. Yeah.
Well, that's a bit that puzzled me as to why he didn't try. I think he tried to get lucky off the 8 ball, and that's never a good thing to do.
I'm thinking he just tried to. I'm thinking he just tried to run into it, and although he hit it kind of hard for playing that shot.
Well, it'll do.
It's hard to say because right now he's been a little goofy. And this is the kind of shot where, this is one of those, you can stun this with a soft draw. He's going to try to go forward. He's not going to mess with that. But that wasn't guaranteed. I'm kind of surprised he didn't put inside and hold it and take the cut back on the 4. You know, the thing is, guys, is when you've got a shot that, you know, you might hook yourself versus another way to play it where you're going to leave yourself a tougher shot. Just take the tougher shot because you just don't want to shoot shots where there's a chance you can hook yourself.
Now, where's Bankster's cue gone to? I don't think Bankster's one of these guys. I don't see Bankster doing this. And I think he has to be brave here and jack up and punch this in so he stays top end for the 5. And he has to take it into the long pocket in the bottom here.
He just needs to stun it. I mean, this is pretty standard.
He's not found the line anywhere near it
missed it by 2 diamonds.
Welcome to Keith. Long time no see.
Well, Keith is here. It must be a bad day for flying airplanes, or I guess it's evening, so maybe he's got lights on his airplane.
Yeah, there's a northerly wind set back in. It's dropped like 5 or 6 degrees since this morning. Yeah, these, this is, I mean, it's share and share alike here. Semi's given Bankster chances, and Bankster's only been able to take one of them so far.
Giving it back. Semi plays a lot of stuff off of stun, which is kind of cool. I mean, most pool players don't do that.
Yeah, it's snooker that does that to you.
It's more snooker, but there are some. Josh Filler is a guy that comes to mind that plays a lot off of stun. Earl Strickland's another. I mean, it can be pretty awesome in pool. I just think it's a hard way to play, but if you can do it, it can be pretty awesome.
7 in the side, something else in the other side.
Well,
so 7 and 6 have gone. I don't think
he can bank this 2-ball.
Yeah, he can bank it, but I don't think he can cut it. I think he's not got enough room on it. And that'll do it. But I don't think he's got a lucky hit in the 8 though.
No, but he's got a pretty good safety here. He can shoot this 2-ball on the side and play safe, both at the same time. You know, play for the 3-ball up in a quarter of the same side. Just cut that 2-ball on the side, and you know, then you're just thinking about speed of cue ball, because you've got the 3 and the 8 to protect with.
Hola.
It's a pretty natural 2-way shot.
Hola muchacho, or something like that. That's a good shot.
He hit it too hard, but he made the ball, so it doesn't matter.
Now he's reasonably good in the 3. I think he's got a dodgy angle on it though.
Yeah, this is, you know, this kind of shot, I would just shoot it in the side and bump the 9. You just need to make sure you bump it on the high side.
Yeah, it should be fine if he just bumps it out the way.
Well, see, he bumped it on the low side. That's you got to bump it on the high side, and that, you know, honestly, he shouldn't be doing this. He plays way better than this.
Because he should see that coming. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I mean, that should just be automatic, knowing you got to bump the 9 on the high side.
Well, the cue ball's definitely going to go up the table. And that's perfect. Problem resolved.
Yeah, that's just not how you want to play pool, though. I mean, he's hooked himself twice so far, which is, you know, that's kind of like a sin.
Well, the alarm bells are ringing for Bankster already, though. He's going to be 4-1 behind, regardless of what's happened.
There's a huge speed difference. I mean, you can look at the rating. I don't know how Semipro got his rating down to that. He must be getting ready for league or something. But, you know, because he was up, what was he in league? 2475 or something, and complaining about it the whole time. He should be at 2500. I mean, no doubt in my mind, he's a 2500 player.
8-ball into the side, something into the bottom right, shot in the 1, game over.
Well, you would think. I know the way he's been going, I'm not calling anything, but this is about as easy as it gets.
Well, that's the 2 and the 8's gone. He's, you know, everything's handy.
Yeah, he's going to shoot the 4 up in the corner. He's going to roll this a little right English. Yeah, you can roll this. I mean, this is about as easy a table as you're going to get. I guess it could be easier if you made 7 balls in the break, but I'm not sure I've ever seen anybody make that many in VP. What's the most you've seen, Hugh?
Probably about 5. Don't ask me who that was and when that was, but
I've made 6 on the break in real life. I've seen 7 on the break.
And you never told us that you never won the rack when you had 6 in the break, Steve. Is that?
You know, honestly, I don't remember. But I saw Alex Pagulayan make 6 and not get out, and he had a shot on a low ball. It's on YouTube if anybody wants to look. one of the greatest players ever makes 6 balls, has a shot on the low ball, and he doesn't get out. It was pretty sad.
So 5-1. Bankster has to start getting clever here.
Semipro is not breaking well. That's his 3rd dry break. Yeah, and see, that's no good. I mean, he's just gonna thin this one and hook him one way or another, or he may try to bank.
Well, he's got to watch the 6 ball slightly, I think.
He's gonna play safe, and that's the smart play there. Well, he overhit it.
He might have
if
left
it rolls
the
far enough.
Yeah.
Left
the cut.
Yeah, that safety is a little tricky. I mean, you know, the speed on it. I would have at least taken a thought about banking that 4 ball or that 1 ball to the end rail, and you know whether there was something I could take the cue ball up table and get safe, because those safeties where you've only got 1 ball and it's not a big ball, you know, the speed on that's got to be really good.
Well, it's tight past the 5, so he's cheated the pocket. Got a little bump in the 7, which hasn't done him any harm, and he should be on the 4. Now I've got a question for you, Steve, to do with VP4 and to do with modern games. You know, all the big games that are out there. Why does VP4, and this is just for my own benefit, why does I'll say that again, why does VP4 not have, oh dear.
Oh boy.
Why does it not have a full screen, if you bear with me, I'll remember what I'm talking about in a second. I'm trying to think what it is again. Why does VP4 not have a desktop mode full screen? Whereas it's got a desktop mode, and I've got I've got my Windows at pink for the Windows, if you know what I mean. So the bar at the top of the screen is pink. You don't see that on the stream because obviously the stream just catches the window. But most modern games have a windowed mode, but a lot of them also have a windowed full screen mode. So you get rid of the bar at the top of the screen.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know. It probably should have it. You're talking about hitting the F11 key.
Yes. Or sometimes I think I hit Alt and Enter and it goes to full screen.
Yeah, it really should have that. I don't know if it used to and now it just doesn't work, or whether it never did. That's a good question.
Well, this is
email me that question and maybe I'll fix it in the next release.
This is a testy one. But no problem. And Bankster's making them thick and fast, I'm afraid.
Well, you know, Bankster is just making mistake after mistake, and Semipro is giving him plenty of chances, and he's down 6-1. So this is going to be a slaughter if he doesn't start doing something something right. I mean, so far it's been all bad.
Yeah, I mean, Semipro's under no pressure.
Oh, now this is one of my favorite shots. This is draw left English. This is a fun shot. Wound this and come up. The only thing you got to watch out for is scratching in the corner.
That's what I was looking to say, Lard. You're correct. Borderless windowed is the option. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's perfect. Yeah, I mean, that's a standard thing in Windows. Hit the F11 key and up it goes. I just don't... I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have it.
Well, this looks, again, too easy.
Yeah. And that was well played because he's on the right side of the ball where he can just slide out. And that's the thing is a guy like Semipro is going to tend to stay on the correct side of the ball, which is really the most important thing in making it easy to move the cue ball is being on the right side of the object ball to pocket line.
I was just about to say they're tight into the corner around the angles and over for the 7.
Yeah. If you can stay on the correct side of that line, it's usually one or the other, once in a while straight in, but most of the time it's one side or the other. If you can stay on the correct side of that, it makes pool, pretty easy. I mean, obviously you still have to have the skills to move the cue ball and get the speed, but you don't have to work hard when you're on the correct side of the line.
Well, that 8 ball looked in the pocket, decided against it. I think it's dry.
Yeah, he's just not breaking good at all. He's just fortunate he's playing a guy that is struggling.
Well, Bankster's on the 1 ball. He's got no chance of getting on the 2.
Oh no, you can get on the 2 ball here. I mean, he didn't even hit it that good, and he's on it.
You think that 2 goes? Can you get into that without fouling? Maybe my eyes.
He had plenty of room. He had the whole room.
That's a foul.
That's a foul. He had plenty of room all the way up to the 6 ball there. To get there. It wasn't difficult. He just didn't get there.
The commentator's eye wasn't convinced. The
the
result wasn't good.
When you've got 2 diamonds full of space there, or you really should be able to get there on that shot. I mean, it wasn't a real precision shot.
No,
and obviously, if you pulled it back too far, you could hook yourself with a 6.
Just bear with us, guys, till I get out of this. I want to get to the what do you call it?
Well, that wasn't very good.
The main tourney page. Hold on.
Now, see, there's an example where he should always go to the side rail, and he just tried to get there. On that shot, you should always take the cue ball to the side rail to help control the speed, and he just tried to slide it straight there, and this is what happens when you hit a little thick into the pocket.
Well, he's got away with it big time. Look at where the cue ball is, and look at where the 4 is. Bankster's got.
It's pretty fortunate.
A slim chance of getting anywhere near this. Now, if I was Bankster, I would take my medicine here and try and push that 5 into something, or try and push something over to the 8 or whatever. But
the trouble is it's hard to do that where he is and get anything good.
Yeah.
And this is no good because if it was me, I'm pinning him on the 7 ball.
Yeah.
And put the 4 ball near the 5-6 so that you can pin him again and 3 foul.
Yeah, that's the way it's headed.
Well, see, he's going the wrong way though. Yeah, there we go. That's the way you want to go, so you can put it by the 5 and the 6. Just got to make sure you don't make a ball here.
Yeah, that's. Let's see for you. I think he's tight enough. He's cut off the rail that side. He's cut off the rail that side. So he's got to go. He's got to hit him up here.
Well, he can go off the end rail. This is a lot easier in VP than real life.
He needs to turn that cue further to the right as we look like that. The way he was going, this isn't going to get it done. I don't think. My eyes don't tell me that's the line. No.
Well, he might have got it. I think that was a good hit. Yeah, judging by how the balls reacted, I think that was a good hit.
Well, I take it all back. Yes, it was. Well done for that.
Yeah, that's one thing. With pool balls, when you're looking at, if you're going to look at a shot, like let's say you're supposed to call whether it hits good or not, one of the first things I always look at is how the balls are sitting and how they're going to react if the wrong balls hit first. Because on a lot of times you don't even really need to see the hit. You can just tell whether it was good by what the balls do.
Yeah, nobody knows what's happening in the break, Bill. It's it's night and day in the break from one day to another. But it's going to be 8-1 here, I'm afraid. If you're in Bankster's corner hoping for a match.
Yeah, it can be a mystery. Although percentage-wise, I'm seeing a lot of people break about what you see in real life. I'm not saying that the how it's happening is exactly the same, but seen some numbers like that. Seen some numbers better than it. Seen some numbers worse than it. The balls are breaking a little different than they would in real life.
Well, no shot again. It won't bank past the 8.
Well, he's got a lot of options here.
I would just let me have a look at that. I would just send it over to the 6 and duck over to the 5.
Yeah, that's using a 6 to stop it is probably the best shot. Try to use the 6 and use the 5 ball to hook him. Yeah, that was a tough shot that way. I mean, if the 7 was off the rail, trying to put him on the 7 might be good, but what the 7 was, it was a small ball, and if you didn't get on it, you were going to sell out the 1. But Bankster just can't seem to do anything right now.
Just can't get anything. Now, while this is going on, let me have a quick look. The upcoming matches that are left, we have 5. We've got LS3 and Nick on Wednesday night, and MC Clarkey later on Wednesday night at 10:30, which would be about 5:30 East Coast time. So I'll be doing all of those. Also, Larry and Bedhead on Friday at 7 p.m., 2 p.m. Eastern, and Cobra on Saturday at 7:30 against Spectratron. So there's 4 matches that are in the lineup that I'll definitely be doing in the next few days.
Let me see what my thing looks like Wednesday. I am not going to be making Wednesday, which is too bad. I wanted to see LS3 play Nick. I think that's going to be an interesting match. Well, this you just want to hit with some speed and then hit the 8 in the side pocket. See, I don't like playing it that way.
Oh, it's going in.
See, I would have hit that with some speed and brought it all the way around because it's natural to come down table and shoot the 8 in the side. I don't like leaving it here. He may have been afraid of scratching in the corner if he hit it harder.
Well, the way it's going at the moment, I don't think Semipro anticipated it going quite as easy as this has done so far, even with his own mistakes.
Yeah, he really hasn't played that well, but I mean,
he hasn't had to. That's the thing. Yeah, he hasn't had
Bankster
to.
just gives it to him every time he's got a chance. He just gives it back to Semi.
Now this might catch some of this 7 ball, but he needs to push through.
It doesn't matter.
No, he's okay. He's okay.
Even if he catches it, it's okay. I mean, it's better if he doesn't. This is a little simpler, but yeah, this is when he's at his best, when he's just running these kind of patterns, and he's able to stay on the correct side of the line, and he makes it look easy. And you think he should never lose, but then he does some squirrely stuff. But this is the right way to play pool, is just put it in the right side of the line, hit a lot of shots that are either stun shots or you're rolling the ball.
Well, Semipro,
there we go.
If he comes through this, he's probably odds on that he's going to be playing one pocket slim in round 5.
He's got to get on the 2 ball here, and it shouldn't be too difficult. And he took the simplest route, which is, that's a good decision there, because he's guaranteed to get on the 2 without hooking himself.
See, this is just a little soft draw, just to try and stop the cue ball just leaking away too square.
And he's in a perfect spot where he can just roll this. I mean, that's what you want for a shot, is where you don't have to spin the cue ball up. Done shots and rolling shots.
Good evening to Mr. Deanster. Well, we have 22 people watching at the moment. That's good with this chat overlay that I've got in my main monitor now.
Oh boy.
See, that was always a little bit testy as well, that angle.
That's a bark. I'm sorry, Hugh, but that shouldn't be testy. Yeah. That's a woofer right there.
Well, there's only 4 balls on the table, Bankster, but you know what you have to do. It's a must. And he's got to get this cue ball back into the table. And
Oh boy, here we go.
He's dead and buried. Yeah. Now, well, what does he do? Does he send the 6 back towards the 8 and run for cover? Yeah. And that was probably not a bad choice.
I might have gone the other way just because you could put the cue ball behind the 8 ball.
Well, if this doesn't scratch, oh, he's missed it. He's missed
Yeah.
it. But there's nothing Bankster can do here, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, when you've got a ball against the ball, there's really no reason to hit it super thin. I mean, he could have hit that thicker than you normally would be able to hit it when there was no ball there.
I didn't think he could get a cue ball in there. Well, this is different. All he has to hope now he doesn't pot the 6. Is he going for the 6 on the side? No, he's trying to nail it. And that.
Why wouldn't you be able to? You can move the cue ball anywhere on the table, even if there's balls blocking it. You know that, don't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Amplify key.
Now you can set the cue ball on top of an object ball. So Bankster has got the word from his initial safety and then who can semi the second time. So he's got to get out now.
Yeah, well, I think he can handle this.
9 rack deficit's a long haul.
I don't see him coming back and winning this because even if he plays good, you know, Semipro is a good enough player that.
Well, Semi just needs to share the odd rack here and there, and he'll get over the line a lot sooner than Bankster's ever going to.
Yeah, he could split racks from here and he's going to win, and Bankster will have to play good to split racks with him.
So, bit of encouragement from the crowd for Bankster. I know I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, this is unfortunate.
Well, that's a big pocket, isn't it, for a 1-9 combo? That's never missing.
Yeah, it's not that big. If you hit the 4 ball, it might not go in.
I think
if you brush it, it'll go in.
I think he'll be aiming for the. Oh no, he's sending it over there so he can knock it in when he has ball in hand. That's the idea, because he's probably going to get ball in hand in a minute. Yeah. Well, Bankster was wise to that part of it, but I don't.
That's not an effective play. You just shoot the 1-9 combo now.
Well, the 8 ball sort of. He's
the
queued over the 8 ball, isn't he?
The 2-5 combo isn't difficult. I mean, if he wants to run out, that 2-5 combo is pretty easy.
Well, I think he's. Is he trying to get in line, or is he trying to break this? And he's trying to break it.
Yeah, that's a mistake.
Now he's in trouble.
Yeah, see, this is a stub shot. He should know better than this. That's a stub shot. Just blast it and hope. You know, the combo was easy enough. You might as well just play shape on the combo. You got ball in hand, you can get perfect on that combo. I don't understand trying to break that out, especially the way he tried it, where it's just out of control.
Well, this is a bit of pressure on Bankster because he's been given ball in hand. So we'll give him the 2, we'll give him the 3, and he shouldn't be getting. He should be easily finding the gap into the 4 ball between 6 and 7. The only worry then is he's got to get from the 4 back up to the 5 and avoid running into the 6 or anything like that. We should already be thinking about this sort of stuff as he's playing this 3 ball. Now, he cuts that, and he doesn't want to put too much left spin in this if he's going behind the 6-ball. Yeah, he's trying to just come the other way. Now that pace looks good. It just needs to slow up. And now he's a problem. Well, it can be simplified if he just banks it. Lives up to his name again.
You can shoot this and kill the cue ball. You can kill the cue ball and get on the 6er.
You know, loads of left.
No. I mean, well, just draw. You can just put draw on that and kill the cue ball. When you've got the cue ball close to the object ball, and then you have space before you get to the rail, you can really slow the cue ball down with draw. That could have been just a straight draw kill shot.
Well, I think he's just pushing onto it again.
No, that's no good. He likes that shot, but it's no good. It's maybe good against somebody that's rated 1600, but not against somebody that can play. Yeah, I think he could have hit that kill shot good enough. He could have got straight in on the 6. You'd be surprised how much you can hold the ball up doing that.
Well, Bankster. Well, if he's going to get this, I think he's got to spin this. Yeah, he had to hit it with right English. He was never going to get to the 6 without altering the line of the cue ball, because the 9 ball was in the way of the line. And so Bankster's push onto the 6 ball didn't do him much good, did it? Uh-oh, hang on a minute. I think he's fine. Yeah. So it looks like Bankster's just going to get bits and pieces in this match. And he's certainly not going to get any charity, that's for sure.
Oh, Bankster's gotten plenty of chances. He's just not taking advantage when he gets a chance.
A couple of balls in. And
this should be a run out too. This is
a little, do a little dig into this just to control the cue ball onto the rail and up high enough for the 2. I think that's what I'd be doing.
It's just a little spinner, that's all.
Yeah, that's exactly the shot I'd be playing. Just a little sort of drawy spin. And he's pretty nigh perfect in this 2 ball, I think. I think he can still come back and play the 3.
Yeah, that's that little draw drill, that easy draw drill. That the easiest drill on the drills is that little shot where you just kind of move around the balls around the side pocket.
Yeah, the little arch, yeah. So, well, the issue's the 8 ball. So he's got to really think about where he's going to leave himself in this 6 ball to get onto the 8. So he's going to stun this in and run across, I think.
He could go straight across or he could go behind it. It just depends on what he wants to do.
Yeah, he's thinking across, I think.
I think across is a better shot. I mean, if this was me in real life, I'd be going across. But that's a problem with that across shot is as the speed goes up, the ball stuns further back. So
it doesn't run through as far to shallower the angle.
Right, because he was so straight in, he needed to get the Q-tip a little higher, and that's a pretty common error with that kind of shot. So then you say to yourself, make sure you get the Q-tip high enough and you run past it.
Yeah.
It's a very sensitive shot.
So the gap grows even further. It's 10 now. Two in the bottom right corner. 7's bumping out the way. 1's on. Now, I think he's just got to go back up into the table.
This is just maybe a touch of right English and come straight back up between the 3 and 7. Now he hit the 7, but he's okay. Yeah, that shot with the 8 and 9, my buddy Frank would have gone behind that every time probably, and that's why he's good and I'm not. That's because I would have tried to slide it over. I think that shot behind is an easier shot to control.
So 5 into the right side, or are they going to take it long into the corner? Yeah, he's taking it long into the corner. Yeah, not a problem. Just stop the cue ball.
Yeah, well, you know, he's running on that.
It looks as if he's running forward there. No, he is.
He's running on that idea that I'm going to get the cue ball going down the line I want, and that's a good way to play pool.
Now, is he just going to play for this 8-9 combo, or is he just going to come back and get in?
No, he's got some choices there. I think he'll try to move this 8.
Yeah, he's bumped it. Yeah.
And he could have come out a little better than that, but he's okay. I mean, you know, that's all the angle you come into the ball. He came in not quite the right angle, but he's okay.
That's fine. Well, it's looking very like Semi-Pro's going to have this all over and dusted in not too much time. 1 in the side and 2's blocked off, I think, that he'll jump.
Yeah, he'll probably jump this. And now this is one you need to get a little bit of draw on this at least to get it to stun at a minimum. You don't want to go forward like that, and that's why you don't want to go forward. He needed to get that thing to have a little draw or backup on it so he could slide across. Well, here we go again.
Caught the 8 this time, so again it's another consolation rack chance here for Bankster.
Yeah, that shot was a little tricky because he had to try to keep it on the table, which meant he had to land not, you know, real close to the 3 ball.
No.
Made it hard to get over the 8.
This 5 ball isn't good where it's sitting.
Yeah, I think he may have just tried to move it there. Well, he's got an angle. He can stun over and get to the short side of it. I think he's going to wham this.
Yeah, he's trying to bump something, of course, at that pace.
Yeah. Well, that's the blast and hope shot. That's the stub technique there.
Oh, this is a great little bank, this 4 ball.
Yeah, this is, you know, you just got to be careful that you don't overcook the spin.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Now, the problem is that, you know, you needed the spin to get out of there.
Yeah.
That was a little bit tricky there because, you know, you spin it and it opens up the ball a lot. And so getting a spin on it and getting it to come around was kind of tricky.
Yeah, the bank part was perfect. That one was perfect. And he's sitting nice on the 7.
Yeah, he's probably been practicing his banks. Yeah,
So,
I mean, Semi does everything pretty good. He just makes some bad decisions sometimes.
He's going to be 5 away. Well, I gave Bankster a big build-up from his finishing performance against his ad, but that's all been blown out the water.
Yeah. Well, Semi-Pro, you know, he started out breaking pretty poorly, and the breaks really started to work for him. I think he'll go straight back and forth across here, bring the cue ball back to around where the 1 ball is.
Yeah, he'll have a good enough sight of the 2, and plenty of room to get that cue ball back up the table for the 3. Let's have a look. That's fine. I mean, I mean, he could go a bit of left English.
Well, you either have to put some left on it, or you've got to draw it with right. One or the other.
I mean, he's coming down the line to the 8-ball with that angle, and that's why he's missed the 2, putting the English on it.
Yeah. But it was in the pocket, you know. That wasn't a completely terrible shot. I mean, it was in the pocket. So it was a reasonable attempt at it. I mean, you're going to miss some like that once in a while.
Well, he doesn't need to do anything here other than let it take the line off that short rail to the long rail on the side and not scratch, and he'll be on the 3. Oh, he's checked it a bit. That'll work though. Now it's all about just getting the pace right onto the 4 in the middle of the table. I don't think that was the thing I was talking about in that match with Brainfall and Poolkabouter. They did an awful lot of chickening out, and you know, if that was Poolkabouter or Brainfall out, he'd have just left the 4-ball down in the short rail here and played a long the cue ball in the short rail and a long 4-ball rather than trying to get on it. They did far too much of that match.
You know, now Bankster starting to, you know, this rack, he's looking really good. He's moving the cue ball good. He's getting good angles.
Well, everything he does from here on in has to be good.
Well, I mean, this is the way he needed to play the whole match, and unfortunately that didn't happen.
Now he's got to be careful with this 9. Just have a quick look at it before he fires off, because this is nailed to the rail. Then it goes. Well, he's looking for sort of damage limitation, really, isn't he, at the moment? I mean, you can't start building your hopes up too much. He's had a ball, the 1's gone. In fact, he's had 2 balls, the 7's gone. No shot in the 2.
Yeah, this is in a bad spot.
Yeah, and that push out's no good because he's going to be buried in a second.
Yeah, I would have pushed to a different kick.
Yeah,
I mean, I would have pushed to a kick that I liked better than the one he had. I wouldn't have done that. That's just.
Well, that's. I mean, this is a good kick to kick the 2 in here for Bankster.
Yeah, this is a reasonable shot. It's a big ball where it's sitting off the rail. He's way short of the angle right now.
Yeah, he definitely is from that line. Yeah, it needs to be somewhere in that those 2 diamonds.
Yeah,
well,
reasonable attempt. I always play that to hit the rail first.
Let's see this.
You know, if you come up short, then you're
3-ball, not a problem.
You might knock it straight in, and if you go long, you might get safe.
Well, he just needs to pot this flush. The cue ball does the rest of the thing, because the 3 goes past the 8, it's clean. Doesn't want the cue ball to leak away though like that. Well, he's going to have to jump to get the pot. I still expect him to get it.
Well, you know what? I think that thing's dead. You just played overcut it on the right side. I think it goes in no matter what. Well, I guess I was wrong, because that's what he did. It didn't hit the A ball.
I gave him the big build up for the jump to pot this, because it was going to go clean, but didn't. See, that's the thing. He might have a little bit of spin in that cue ball he wasn't aware of.
My commentator's eye was no good there. I thought he could overcut that, it would catch the 8 and go in, but it didn't.
Needs to miss the 8. Well, if it had missed the 8, he'd have been pretty good.
Yeah, well, let's see what he does here. I mean, I'd crank this up with right English and bring the 3-ball straight back down, try to hide it. He's going to go for the short rail.
And that's no good.
Yeah,
he's not got the touch.
It's tricky when you got one ball sitting out in the middle of the table to get the hook there.
Well, he's got to bank this, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's going to bank it for sure.
Another little testy one, stuck to the rail.
Yeah,
but again, he doesn't need to do anything with the cue ball. I'll just go through the motions of potting the ball and let the cue ball do its thing. Get the weight right.
Let's just roll it and come back off the end rail.
Yeah, they are always tested at a distance when you can only see part of the cue ball.
That's
Well,
where you got to pretend you can see the whole thing.
So here we go again. Semi-pro. This is the main. Well, I take it back. I mean, the 8-ball's again going nowhere that side, but he can get to the short side if he's clever enough, if he wants. But he might have to rethink what he's going to do here. He's got a bank on again. He'll have to make it though, because it's not. I don't think it's dead set. Oh, he looks as if he's thinking about it in the side. Because if he thins it into the side, he'll be on the 6. And I don't think he's going to scratch. Yeah, he's looking as if he's lining up into the side. Not get much of a pocket to work with, but it'll be a good shot and he'll be on the 6. And if he gets really good in the 6, he can roll down on the short side of the 8. I know he's running for cover because he that was never aimed at the pocket. But well, let's just say he's given Bankster something to think about here. But can Bankster just scrape that 5 and then drop in behind the 8? I mean, we're talking a cigarette paper edge of the 5.
Yeah, this is tough here.
That's what he's trying, but he's not going to get to a rail. He has to get the other part of it right first, and he's blew it again.
That was a tough situation there.
So we've got 25 viewers. Welcome everybody, all the silent ones as well. Is he playing a little billiard off the 9? Yes.
Well, he's just messing around doing that because
didn't need to.
Yeah.
And he's left it way short.
Way under hit that.
There's a semi-pro waggle.
Well, this is just 4 rail shape on the 9 ball.
Oh, he's banking this, isn't he? Or is he thin cutting it? Is he going to blast it for a thin cut and let it run all over the table? The 8 rails.
No, it's just 4 rails. You don't have to hit this that hard. This is a 4 railer.
Oh, that's perfect. That was well done. Welcome to Chimpy. Well, you won't be here long. I think that's pretty much guaranteed.
Yeah, this is going to be a short match. It hasn't even gone an hour yet, and we're getting close.
Cue ball.
Watch out.
So that's the thing. You weren't in the stream a few nights ago. Kiza was in the tournament in Friday Night 9 Ball. That's the name of the guy. And when he had finished his tournament, he came into the stream and he said, "Remove the chimp. It's insulting." So I explained to the guys how my fail image and that came about, how I put it together, because I only needed 2 images, and I thought I'll stick mine in, and I already had the chimp for one of my other little pop-ups. And so then I thought about it the next day. I thought I'll put a vote on the community tab on my YouTube channel. What one of these images is the most insulting? So so I put my own picture.
Did you ask him why the chimp's insulting?
Well, I put the pictures up on my channel, and I think there's 10 votes for my image being the most insulting, and somebody's picked the chimp. But he thinks doing this is insulting to the players.
The chimp? Oh,
right.
Well,
so
don't go to the Philippines. You miss a money ball in the Philippines, and the whole pool room starts laughing.
But anyway, I said no, it's not any intent. All I wanted was the first thing I searched for was the fail sound from, the fail sound from The Price is Right. So I found that. Then I thought, well, I can't just have fail up on the screen. I'll put 2 pictures on it. So it was mine and Mine and my chimpanzee. Well,
Well,
Semi-Pro's getting merry. He's decided to hand one in a plate to Bankster.
well, he's trying to throw that ball in. Maybe if he hit a little easier, it might have gone in, and it didn't throw enough. He was trying to throw that ball in. He could have banked it if he wanted to. I mean, it's.
I don't know who Keezer is, Chimpy, but you obviously voted for the chimp. I don't think no prizes for guessing there.
Is it Keyser or Keister?
No, Keezer, Keyser. That's how it's spelled.
You know what a keister is, don't you?
Oh, that's your ass, is it not? Yeah.
So there's some things that are the same in Scotland.
Well, I'm talking posh for the benefit of you foreigners. See, I would have said S rather than ass. See, this is where you then get into the Ayrshire dialect.
You mean arse?
No, S-E-R-S-E instead of
Oh.
arse.
I thought it was A-R-S-E is what you were going to say.
You stick with me, Steve. I'll educate you in our ways.
You're even more off base. Okay.
Well, whereas we don't say ass. It's ass. That sounds better. Sounds more aggressive. Anyway,
well, let's see what he does here.
4.
He's got a pretty natural safety here. You know, I mean, he can just roll onto this 8-ball. He can thin it and go between the 8 and the rail, although I don't really like that shot. He can thin it and go the other way, and I don't really like that shot. I'd probably just try to either roll this onto the 7 or the 8.
Well, you're talking about a guy who was called Chimpy years ago. I'll tell you something, and this isn't politically correct nowadays in this day and age, but we had a guy I used to work with years ago. I think he was from Glasgow, and you know what his nickname was? His nickname was Chinky, and he wasn't Chinese, but he had a Chinese look about him, so that's how he got his nickname. That's how they called the poor guy. That was his name. Right, but we've had nobody called Chimpy. But, yeah. Well, that 2-ball, does that squeeze in past 8? No, it didn't.
I think it did, but he didn't make it.
Well, he certainly caught far too much of the rail, but I think he's... well,
this is
jumping the edge to get the pot. And he's got into the gap. He's avoided the hook behind the 5. He's going to take a chunk of the 6 here. Now this is where he needs to get a nice little... A double kiss might not do him any harm here. He could play for that. He could play for the double kiss.
It's a little tricky to control it because he's got to stun it.
Oh, I see. It's went the other way.
Yeah. No, it was you couldn't roll that. You had to stun it to get it to hit, and then the speed's an issue because it's going to go bouncing across the table.
Yeah, the only difference is PY to PIE, Chimpy. Well, here we go again. Another consolation rack opportunity for Bankster. And he's immediately got problems because he's going to have to work his way out to get to the 6. Now, I think does the 6 go into the side? Yes, it does. So he's not got a problem. He just has to get down low enough on this 6 ball. So
yeah, he can shoot in the corner too. I mean, it just depends on where he wants to go. I'd imagine he's going to try to shoot it in the side.
Well, he could go top side of the 5 so he can do your shot. It looks as if he's going to do that. He's going to come back the way he's just going to draw and find the gap. Or is he going to roll through? Because he's dead straight.
I think he'll roll through. He didn't really want to be dead straight.
Needs to keep rolling. You know, that's not it. I mean, that needed to be there.
Yeah, he can bank it. I mean, I'd bank this. The bank's a lot easier than that cut shot.
Yeah.
It's easier to get shape. I think it's easier to make the ball.
Yeah, that'll do it. Wise
and
move.
When your name's Bankster, you got to bank that.
Well, you've got to prove that you've got a name called Bankster for a particular reason. Well, the gap's still 10, whatever way you look at it. Oh, the 7-ball was seriously thinking about it, but it's not gone, and I didn't hear anything else go. And, well, Semi's on the 1, he's got the 2, he's going to play the 3-7 combo. I don't think there's a problem, because once the 7's out of the way, the 3's open. I think that...
Yeah, he should be able to run this rack out. There's not a whole lot of issues.
Well, the 5, I think all he needs to do is make sure he gets into the table, because he could either draw off the... I mean, if he finish, depends where he finishes, but, you know, the 6 ball goes no problem, so he just needs to get up the table for the 6.
Yeah, that was well played.
Not forgetting that he's got to get from the 4 back up to the 5, though.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem. That wasn't so well played.
Now, how much of an angle's he got? He's got enough.
Yeah, he's just going to go up and down the table. He's going to follow it.
He's got the pace. And he's not going to finish in the draw, is he? Now he's got a problem, because I think he's...
He can stun this out.
Yeah,
he can stun this out. He's going to have to hit it, but he can stun this out.
Now he has to get that 8 ball still in play.
Well, you got to make sure that you hit this hard enough that it comes back off the rail and doesn't bury behind the 9.
Like that, you mean, Steve?
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw that coming. All you had to do was hit that with enough speed to get the 8 ball to bounce off the rail, and you did not do that.
That's getting one of them. And now this might be a combo that he's going to have a blast at it. And it's running off the rail, that 9 ball, though.
Yeah, that was a silly mistake there. For a player at his level, he should, that sort of situation, he should know what's going to happen if he doesn't hit it hard enough.
And natural instinct should tell you, make sure I'm hitting this hard enough so that it bumps the rail and comes out.
Yeah, if you get a little funny on the 8 because you hit it a little too hard, that's better than being hooked.
Well, the 9's just bumped there, so he's fine. So it's another help yourself here from Semipro. Bankster is going to get to 6. Now I'm going to give him a target of 10. That's maybe a long way off, but then he's got a chance.
This match is a good explanation of why Semipro is not winning these things a lot. He's got a great game, but he's just, there's things that happen where it's like, he should see this, he should know this, and yet,
That's horrible. Look at that though, Steve. I mean, 1, 3, 4, 7's gone, no shot in the 2, and he's losing the rack if he doesn't get this safe. Now, if he's pushing, he doesn't want to be. I'd
probably push up and bump the 5 ball and push to a. Well, maybe you can't do that. Kind of get the edge of the 5 ball and keep it behind the 8 and push to a jump shot. Well, it's either that or push to a kick, or you could just kick it right now.
If he's called it, I've not seen it.
Yeah, you could kick at this now, but it's not a great shot to kick at. Yeah, I might, or you could just push it forward towards 8. Just make sure you stay short. If you push it up to about where the 5 is, the bank shot looks the jump shot looks a lot better than it does from back here. He's just got to push to something that's hard that,
He's called it now.
Yeah, and this is, I don't think this is going to be a good push.
Well, he needs to get right into the pocket, because this is going to get cut.
Yeah.
Semi-pro going to cut this every day of the week.
Going to shoot this every time. Yeah, that's just not you'd be jumping out of your chair for this.
Yeah, and it was always going to take a little bump off the 9, and he's perfect. That was just so poorly thought out again.
Well, I mean, it's I say it over and over again, you got to push out to something that, you're not going to be particularly excited to get back, but you can't push out to something ridiculously hard because you're going to get it back every time. But you got to push out to something that, the guy will at least think about it, but that you may get back. And if it's pretty easy to go through that thought process and say to yourself, well, if I push over here, Semipro is going to shoot this every time.
Yeah. So, Semipro, 3 away. And unless Brainfullout gets his act together.
Now, this is a bank with draw and a little bit of right English to hold it and come right back and shoot the 2 down in the corner.
Now, I say that because Brainfullout's watching the stream. Unless Brainfullout gets his act together, it's going to be a comfortable win for One Pocket Slim, and he's going to be playing Semi-Pro next round. There's your wake up call, Brainfullout. Put your brain back in, more to the point.
Why is Semipro PMing me now?
Because he's listened to the stream, that's why.
Well, that's another mistake. You shouldn't listen to the stream when you're playing.
Well, didn't want to catch the pocket there. Brainfullout says, I'm doing a bit of offline, trying to engage brain malfunctioning a bit though.
Oh, man.
Well, that's I don't think it could malfunction much more than what it did in that last match.
Now let's see which side he's going to go to. He could go to either side here. You can either spin this and go to the short side or hit it like that.
That's perfect. Nice little
angle. I think that's the better side to go to.
Welcome to repetition.
He's going to draw this, which is the better choice because you can get more angle. Although I wouldn't have played it to that side. I would have gone the other side, but it works. We're just about at game, set, match.
So this match started, what, an hour and 10 minutes ago?
Yeah. He's got one down, and he's got a shot. So he made 4 balls. He's got a shot. The 2 is funny. So this is a little tricky here. You can hit this with low left and go between the 6 and the rail and go 3 rails out to shoot the 2. That's the shot I'd probably be shooting at.
Well, he's juicing it up to get the cue ball working.
Yeah, I would go between the 6 and the rail with right English. This is a draw. You got to draw this quite a bit to get it to hold so that you get on this side of the 6. And then a lot of left English and spin it around, and you just can't overcook it or you hook yourself with the 9. And he's going that way, which is that's a good shot.
I mean, that was well done.
And that's the thing. I don't see many people in VP shoot shots like this, or the one I was talking about, where they really crank the ball up. But you know, you can do it. I mean, you can put a lot of spin on the ball. Yeah.
Well, it's just. I mean, I would just go forward with this and let the cue ball run. Nothing else to do it. He's letting it go at distance just to drop it in and roll the 9 up table. So he's on the hill, no doubt about that. And he won't get it as easy as this, I would think, for the remainder of this tournament.
Hoping I can get a relaxed groove of some sort. Well, there's always PEDs, brain fell out. You can always go that route. I'm sure that's what Stubb does.
Well, this match is now complete, or at least it will be in a minute, because Semi-Pro's had the 3, the 4, the 6. He's on the 1, bump to get on the 2, left it a wee bit short. but loads of room to come around.
Yeah, this
the
is
angle.
fine. You just choose which corner pocket you want to shoot the 5 into. I'd probably hold this. He's going to go the other way. They both work.
It's 5
And
into the side.
if you're going to go the other way, that's a smart play. Play it on the side because it gets rid of the speed dependency coming across the line.
Now, this angle he's got, he's trying to skim past this, the 8, which he's done nicely, and that's it. Sayonara. It's this.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Well, that was pretty much a slaughter.
Well done to Semipro. Very comfortable win.
And look how much his rating went up. His rating went up.
That was weird. Was he at 2,200? It's went up 160 odd points.
I don't know if it went up 160, but it went up a bunch.
That was weird.
I think it went up a little over 100.
No.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you win 19-6.
Is it worthwhile having a look at the stats? I say for semi-pro stake, it probably is.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting to see what his break stats are. He was breaking not very good at the beginning, and then it got rolling, and he actually broke really good the latter part of the match.
2 and 3 balls in a break there.
Oh, there was 4 on one break. Yeah, he had a break with 4, so that you make 4 balls on one break, that increases your average ball count pretty quick.
90% shot percentage. 3.3 balls per turn. 8 racks ran by Semi-Pro, 2 rack high run, Moneyball shot 100%. So average balls in the break 1.3 and Bankster was 1.
Yeah, 1.3 is really good. One's not bad. I mean, one is certainly not a bad number, but the break percent, Bankster had some breaks. He made a lot of balls because 33% is no good, and 68% is that's about what I would expect for, 9 balls is 65 to 70%.
Right. So shot percentage, if you look at that, Semi-Pro is at the top of the table. He's 89.9. Let's have a look at average balls and break. Chimpy's still on top. Semi-Pro's probably got himself up the ladder a little bit there. He's what, about 6th or 7th?
Yeah. Well, that was a big number on that one.
Well, obviously, there's a lot of these players are no longer in the tournament. Larry's still there. He's in 1. He's over 1. Runouts from the break. Let's have a look at that. We've got Bill on 21, averaging a ball in the break, and you've got Nick on 19, Champion 16, Spectre Dawn 15. Again, these are, you don't want to interpret them the wrong way because again, some players have played more matches than others. Semi-Pros in 15, Bedhead 14, Albion 11.
Yeah, Nick's numbers are pretty strong. He's going to be around for a while in this tournament, I think. I mean, LS3's got a big job ahead of her to win that match.
Well, Spectre Dawn's joint top for at least one of the stats. On break fouls, he did 4 scratches in the break. Mr. Fox is there as well. I think I did that one, didn't I? Yes, I did. Oh no, wait a minute. Break percentage. Again, that doesn't give you a good idea. Anyway, back to the main page on it, just as a final reminder, because we have LS3 and Nick on Wednesday night or Wednesday afternoon, depending where you are in the world. I'll be there for that one. Steve can't make it. You've got MC Clarkey and Interchange. It's later that night at 10:30 or 5:30 East Coast. Larry and Bedhead on Friday, clash with Friday Night 9 Ball. Again, I'll definitely be there for that. and also 7:30 on Saturday, Cobra and Spectrodon, big battle there. It could possibly end up having the two guys that have shared big world championships in VP3 for the last 2 or 3 events, I think. You could have the two of them in the one loss side, that's a possibility. And then finally, you've got One Pocket Slim against Brainful on Sunday. So it was a short match. Semipro won't care. It's done and dusted. He's into the next round. And he knows it's a big step up next round, possibly, unless Brainful can bring out a big upset. There's slim odds in that happening, but you know it's always a possibility. Long odds it would be, but there is that possibility. But it's more than likely going to be slim. But good luck to Brainful anyway. Oh, that's the other thing. This vote that's on my YouTube channel, it's stalled. Nobody else is paying attention to it. The community tab is there on my YouTube channel, and I think it's still 8-ball world on the 9-foot table. It's slightly in the lead, but again, I've cried out for votes, but nobody's voting.
Well, doesn't that mean if it's close, we should do it on the bar table?
Well, you see, that's what I told them. I said to them, look, if you don't get the vote right, Steve's going to have it his way and choose the bar table anyway. You know, so.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm saying. I mean, if it was really lopsided, then maybe I'd go with the big table. But the reason why is because it's harder to break and run out on the bar table.
Mm-hmm.
It's a little bit more of a strategy game, and it gives the lesser players a better chance. Because on a big table, 8-ball is basically break and run out. You know, it's like playing 9-ball, 10-ball. I mean, it's a little different, but it's basically a break and run out game. And on the bar table, you know, there's more to it, and I just think it levels the playing field some, and I think we need that in the league.
Right. Well, I've just gone to my YouTube channel and I'm looking at the vote right now. 8-ball world on the bar table is 8% of the vote. You've got
how do you see the vote?
I'm
looking at it. How do you see the results?
Well, you don't look at it on the internal browser, Steve, because it just comes up white and you can't see it.
I'm an external browser. How do I see the numbers?
Go to the community tab on my channel.
I see the vote. How do I look at what was voted for? Because I'm not seeing that.
Well, you scroll down past the two images where the chimp is and where I am, and you'll see the vote below that.
I do, but I don't see the numbers of who voted for what.
Well, I do. I don't know what your problem is.
Well, that's because it's your page. I guess that's not public information.
No, if you hit the community tab, you can't see the vote.
I can see the vote, but I can't see the vote count.
Anybody else had that problem? I'm asking the guys in the stream if
you have to vote to see the results. Okay, well, I'll vote for bar table. There you go.
Wait to refresh it.
Well, I thought you said it was close. It's not. It's not close at all.
No, it was close between the 9-foot table, 9-foot table, 8-ball world, and 9-ball the champ level.
Well, we're probably going to run 2 leagues. I mean, those are a lot different leagues because, you know, the champ level players that's going to be that's going to be limited. Right. How many players are in that? It's going to be smaller teams, and you know, there's not going to be a lot of people that are going to be in that.
Well, I would think going by that percentage, Steve, the 8-ball world rules, the bar table's got 2 votes. I mean, it says 12%, but I'm guessing that's 2 votes because there's only been 25 votes. It might be 3 or 4 votes if you go with that. But the 9-foot table is winning that battle between the 9-foot and the bar table.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out how to handicap this. This is what the problem is that, you know, on a 9-foot table, you know, I mean, if you put a 1,700 player against a 2,300 player, it's going to be a shutout a lot of the time.
Well, here's a question, though, Steve. Are you intending to run these 2 leagues simultaneously, but on alternate nights. If you're going to have 8-ball
Yeah,
World and
I
then
was thinking of doing the 8-ball league on Saturday, like the same time we did the last league, and then the 9-ball league on Sunday.
And if you're thinking about the handicap in 8-ball, is it not usually? I mean, the 8-ball World tournaments that happens regularly. I think that's Rack's handicap.
Well, I mean, and there, that's the only real way we have to handicap it right now. I mean, I could put a point system in, but unfortunately, that's a fair amount of work to do the point system, because what you can do is you can give points for balls made. So that way, you know, what happens is there's a team handicap of how many points for the team, and then every ball made is a point, and the 8-ball is worth, I know the 8-ball is worth more points as far as winning the game. But that way, if you make 3 or 4 balls, you get points for your team. And since there's a point handicap, then, you know, the lesser players can contribute. When you're playing by who wins the game, it's difficult to handicap. And, you know, then what ends up happening is to make it really fair, you're going to have guys that could potentially be getting 4 games on the wire in a race to 5 or something, because it's going to be very difficult for the lesser player, because it's essentially going to be, if you don't run out, you lose, and that's going to be tough.
Well,
so I'll have to think about that some, about how the best way to make this league so that it works with the kind of mix we had in the 9-ball league, which I thought ended up working pretty well with the ball handicaps.
Yeah, I think it just needs more input from those that are interested in getting involved in it. Because I mean, there was more people were interested in getting involved in the 9-ball league once it was up and running. You know, that once they saw it operating, and you know, there's probably still enough of those guys around who would be looking to get involved in this one, but there has to be the decision to get it started, to get it in motion.
Well, it doesn't do me any good to put on a bar table if nobody wants to sign up and play on it. And I will say that putting on the bar table does not get rid of the handicapping issue. It just makes it less severe than the 9-foot, but it's still an issue.
Yeah.
So I have to think about that. If I can come up with a way to do it, I might think about putting the points league in. I actually have the design partway done for that. Because see, that's what they do in real life. Is most of these leagues are played as points. And that's exactly why they do that. That's how you get a big mix of skill levels to be able to compete together.
Well, that's food for thought for those who are interested.
What I may do is start the champ level 9-ball league with no handicap first, and see what I can do about the other one.
And is that going to run over the same amount of weeks?
I don't know. I mean, I thought the last league was a reasonable length. I don't think you want to go more than 20 weeks, and I don't think you want to go less than about 10.
I think that one last 13 weeks or something, and then the playoffs, or was it 12 and then the playoffs?
It was 15 weeks, and then the playoffs were 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't see any problem with that.
Yeah, I thought it was a good length. I mean, it gives you a chance to, it's a lot of it's dependent on how many teams you have, and then how many times you're going to play each team. So it's a little bit tricky to set up initially, because I don't know how many teams we're going to get. But if we get the full field, obviously it works out to whatever I knew up front. But if we get less, and I'm not sure how many teams we want. We seem to have pretty good participation with 6 teams. I mean, we could try running an 8-team league.
Mm-hmm. No.
So if we have 8 and then it has 6, I guess I can always tweak the length of the league some other way by editing it, so we kind of come out about the same. All right, well, I'll think about it. I'll probably start up the 9-ball Masters level league first, because the other one may take some coding.
Right. Well, if anybody is watching who we're doing other streams. There's matches coming up during this week, so if there's any questions and things you're not sure about how the league runs or how anything like that, then you can always ask. But the other thing is you can always go to the support page, because there's a whole big article on the support page telling you all. Steve's done, he's got images and stuff and all of that there, so you can read up on it, and that will give you an idea how it works. And then if you have any questions, you can fire them into the stream. So that will clear up any grey areas if you're not sure.
Well, that thing on the support page is that was a captain's thing, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, even looking at it, the thing is, because some players might want to be a captain, they might want to set up their own team, so it's worthwhile having a look at it. But as I say, the rest of it, clarification is just asking questions. So feel free to ask questions.
Yeah, that's really designed for captains to run the league, because a lot of people aren't going to be interested in reading all that BS, because it's a bunch of stuff that you're never going to have to deal with unless you're a captain.
Yeah, and I was a captain, and if I can do it, then any numpty can do it. So that's it, tested. See, the thing is, you always go by my ability to understand something Steve does, and if I don't understand it, then I'll tell him I don't understand it for a particular reason. So I managed to get a league up and running. I managed to get a team together, and it worked fine. I don't think I made any major disasters in it. So anybody who fancies doing it, you can do it. Take my word for it. Dead easy. Yeah, that sums that up. if 9-ball can do it, any half-wit can do it. So there you go. That's always the proof in the testing, is that if I understand something, then to me it's right, and if I don't understand it, then it's bloody confusing.
we had enough captains, and everybody was able to get through it. There wasn't too much confusion. I don't think it's quite as simple as you were saying, but it's certainly not something that most of you guys can't do. I mean, you can talk to the other captains. Bobby was a captain. Bobby Barris, Sylvia, Semipro was a captain. I can't remember who else was.
I think the most important thing about deciding to be a captain is that you are actively in touch with your players and messaging them any information you need to message them, and also encourage them to message you if they think they can't make it one week, because not everybody can be there every week.
And if you want to get a better idea of what league is like, as far as all the goodies you get in information, if you just search in the search bar for league, and then click the events tab and go to Saturday Night 9-ball league, you can see everything about the last league. You can see the event summary. It shows the standings for normal league, the playoffs standings. You can look at the schedules. You can look at the teams. You can't look at the matches, because that's only active when the matches are live. But to give you a better idea what it's like to play in a league.
I've got it up on the stream. I found it. There's the teams that were in it. You had VP4 TV. That was my league. No clues for guessing that one. You had Team Pinas. You had Breaking the System. That was Sylvia's team. And you had Omega. Team Omega. You had 9-ball shots and Lovely Bunch of Coconuts. And then after those 14 weeks, you then had the playoffs, which were that result there. You had Lovely Bunch of Coconuts playing Omega. I think Omega didn't show up, is that right? because he got beat 9-0 and breaking the system against 9-ball shots. And then the final was won by 9-ball shots. There's no matches here. You're right enough, Steve. They've disappeared. That was the schedule from September, the Saturday, September the 3rd. It ran right through into the new year, because we held off until Christmas was over, and we finished them in, the first set of playoffs were January the 7th, and then the week later was January the 14th. It was all over. So it runs a fair bit, and it takes up a bit of your time, but if it's on a time to suit you, then get involved. And you can, again, you can put your name in if you're interested in a league on the actual league page. But all of that can be explained at a later date if you've got any questions about it. But I think most players enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I didn't enjoy the bloody outcome, but I enjoyed it. So, I think that covers it for tonight, folks. Steve will want to get away. I want to get a cup of coffee. I'll be back Wednesday night if you can join us, because we've got some great matches coming up over the next few days, right up to the weekend. And I will have them on VP4 TV. If you can't be there, they'll be on the YouTube channel. So, thank you to Steve for joining, and we will bid you all good night again. Well done to Semipro, unlucky to Bankster. There's always next time, and there's always the one lost side, and you still got a chance to survive. Right. You still there, Steve? I think Steve's left the building already. Let me just double check he has. No, he's still there, but he's gone silent. Or he's talking and he thinks I can hear him, but there's nothing moving, there's no sign of life. Hello? Yep. I think am I just going to jump out and leave him there? Or has his Discord died on him? I'll take that as a hint. I think he's probably gone. Right, guys. We will see you again soon. I can't even get my XSplit to work now.
Good night, ladies.
Okay, are we done?
Yeah, we're done, Steve. I'm saying goodbye to everybody, and I'll get my end credits running, so I thought you'd fall asleep.
I had to take a call, I'm sorry.
Right, that is it. We're all gone, Steve.
All right,
so
good night,
thanks
guys.
for joining. See you later. Good night.
Yep.